Welcome everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Ben Cawley. I'm the director of the client experience team here at Guiding Eyes for the Blind. And we have a wonderful group of graduates that we're going to be celebrating, our newest guide dog teams. We have 6 of them today that we're celebrating. 3 have participated in home training and 3 in our residential class training. And so interestingly, we have an impending snowstorm coming up, so the snow is chasing this class out. Marianne, who comes from Utah, what's that? She, on the way in, she was chased by a storm to get here. She almost didn't, her plane almost didn't take off, and then now on the way home, she's got a storm sending her home. So Enya's in for some lots of snow, it seems like, with Marianne. Before we get started with the official ceremony, we like to help let the graduates and those who are attending on Zoom know who the puppy raisers that are in attendance are. So we're going to give an opportunity for any guests, so any puppy raisers or guests of our graduates that are in the room that want to briefly introduce yourself. Stephanie will be passing the microphone around.
Hi, I'm Barb McCabe. I raised York, Mr. Gorgeous over there, and he was puppy number 15 for me. He is small but mighty, and looking forward to seeing if he can fit in his York peppermint patty costume again.
I'm Nancy Klein. This is my son Ryan, and our family raised Enya going to Utah. So we're super excited and we're thrilled to meet Marianne.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that wants to introduce themselves? Okay, great. So the residential class that's in front of you, Dirk, Marianne, and Victoria, were trained by Kat Pualo and Dan Wiesner, our placement specialists. Give them a round of applause for all their hard work. And they were joined by Mick and Blia. She's the trainee guide dog trainer, and Mick is up here in the front. Say hello, Mick. Before we, the next step was we're going to have Lindsay Vandenthorn, who's a donor relations specialist here at Guiding Eyes for the Blind. She has a special donor recognition.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lindsay Vandenthorn. I work on our development team here at Guiding Eyes, so I just want to personally congratulate all of our graduates today and thank all of our donors for their contribution to our mission, because without them, these partnerships wouldn't be possible. So I just want to thank, actually notice that home training team, Ibrahim and Jake was actually special named by the NM Morris Family Foundation after a family ancestor. They wanted to share, the NM Morris Family Foundation is inspired by Ibrahim and Jake and is proud to enable this team. We wish you 2 many fun runs together and safe travels. That's it for me, so congratulations, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Lindsay. And next we have Jessica Walsh, Regional Puppy Specialist, to present the raiser certificates.
Good evening. My name is Jessica Walsh, and I'm a regional specialist, a puppy specialist here at Guiding Eyes. I work with all the East regions, providing administrative support to the regions and their regional puppy instructors. Before taking on this role, I worked as a kennel technician at the training school, and because of this role, I'm proud to share that I know all the dogs graduating today, and I'm extremely proud of them, their handlers, their raisers, and for all their hard work to get here today. I would like to take this time an opportunity to say thank you to all the raisers. Without you, the incredible dogs graduating today would not have made it to this point. As a current raiser, I know the hours and commitment it takes. So I thank you for planning unique outings, busy breaks in the middle of the night, altering your schedule to fit in a puppy and his or her needs, and so much more. Every puppy raiser is different, but the one thing you all have in common is the love and dedication you put into the puppy you're raising. The dogs graduating today are the result of that love, and I'm incredibly grateful to be part of an organization where we have passionate, hardworking, and selfless volunteers like you. I wish the new graduating teams good luck on their new journey, and it's my honor to present the certificates to our raisers who are here in person. First up, we have the Klein family with Enya. The next raiser we have is Barb McCabe with York. I would also like to announce the names of the raisers who could not be here today, and I would like to ask that you hold your applause until I finish reading all the names. First, we have Deborah Dick with Fernando, Joshua James with Fernando, and Lynn Stoss with Fernando. Linda Mariano with York, and David Stinger with Stacy Keith for Presley. Catherine Urbano for Jake, and Karen Elliott for Charles. Now I would like to turn it over to Kat.
Thanks, Jess. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kat Pawalo, and alongside Dan Wiesner,
I'm finally in and I'm having a total breakdown. Love you. Bye.
For those of you on Zoom, could you please mute your...
So Dan and I have had the pleasure of working with this amazing group of people seated before you. We have also been extremely lucky to work with Mick this class. Mick has shadowed as part of their role as a trainee. You've been amazing, so thank you for everything that you did for our class. Together, we have shared lots of stories and laughs. The bonds we have created over the last 2 weeks have been remarkable to witness. As a class, we would like to extend a warm wish to our friend Ken, who couldn't be with us today. Now to tell you a little about this month's graduates. From the residential program, Victoria Vergara has joined us from Massachusetts for her first guide dog, a black male Labrador named York. Victoria is an active traveler who is out most days running errands, shopping, or exercising. Victoria is passionate about teaching individuals who are blind or low vision and has been extremely patient teaching her classmates and instructors about technology. Marianne Schmidt joins us for her fourth guide dog and has been partnered with a female black Labrador named Enya. Marianne enjoys the companionships of her guide dog and on her commutes to work and taking exercise walks in her home neighborhood. Marianne is looking forward to returning home and introducing Enya to her family. Watching their relationship grow has been a wonderful experience for us. Dirk Price has come to us from Alabama for his second Guiding Eyes dog, a male black Labrador named Fernando. Dirk is retired from the fishing industry and enjoys keeping busy with lots of hobbies, including gardening, beekeeping, woodworking, and hunting. Dirk is active in his community, serving as president of his local Lions Club. He will be going home to his wonderful wife, Claire, and her lab, Barley. Dirk's quiet demeanor is accompanied by a quick wit that has kept us all on our toes the past 2 weeks. And our graduates through the home training program. First, we have returning graduate Dick Pomo, who recently received his third dog from Guiding Eyes, Presley, a yellow lab male. He was trained by regional guide dog mobility instructor Mike Gehring. Dick lives in Arizona and is an active member of the United States Blind Golf Association. He is an active supporter of Guiding Eyes through his involvement in our annual golf classic. Marie Brenus is a first-time guide dog user, received Charles, a yellow lab male, through our specialized training program, trained by specialized training guide dog mobility instructor Susan Croha. Marie is from Fairfax, Virginia. She is a former president and the current treasurer of Virginia's chapter of American Council for the Blind. She is enjoying the companionship and new independence she has with Charles. Ibrahim Shihadat is a father, public school teacher, and new guide dog handler. He was recently paired with Jake, a yellow lab male. This team was trained by Foundation Guide Dog Mobility instructor Christina Vetrano. While he navigates his life journey with a comedic perseverance, he appreciates the seriousness bond he has forged with his new guide. With Jake the Rocket by his side, he looks forward to smashing his step goals, finally closing his fitness rings on his Apple Watch, and running his town. Congratulations to all of you. At this time, I would like to introduce the graduate speakers, starting with Dirk.
Welcome, everybody. 20 years ago, I came to Yorktown Heights as my eyesight was severely failing, and I was placed with my first guide dog, Henry. Henry was a puppies behind bars dog. He was raised in Clinton, New Jersey, the women's prison, by a female armed bank robber. In and out of the jail on the weekends. I must say, Henry had excellent obedience. He had nothing else to do in class, in jail, except sit down, stay, and come. The only thing was, I kind of worried coming out of stores all the time. The 9.5 years I worked with him, he might be shoplifting. So I always had that in my thoughts. But no, all kidding aside, my first dog and Guiding Eyes were 1 for 1. First time, perfect. He was a great dog. I ventured out to 2 other guide dog schools and have to say that one of them was 1 out of 2 and the other one was 0 for 2. So I applied back at Guiding Eyes, was come back here less than 2 weeks ago, and I was given Fernando. Fernando's, that's a mouthful. He's real laid back, kind of like people in the South. I'm from South Alabama. There he goes. And he fit, we practice that. He fits my personality well. Last night I had the opportunity to talk to his puppy raiser out of Maine, the state of Maine, Deborah Dick. And I learned that Fernando was raised on a farm. Well, tomorrow he's going to my farm. Fernando spent a lot of the time working the trails through the woods on the farm. And that's what Fernando and I are going to be doing. Fernando likes to swim, I learned. And I promise him he'll be swimming tomorrow in our pond. And he also likes to fish from a boat, and we're going to be doing a lot out of that. I'd have to say Fernando's a keeper. He's a fantastic dog, and Guiding Eyes is 2 for 2. That's a lot to say right there. And 2 for 2 sounds like thank you. So thank you to all the staff and everybody that's made this happen. And special thanks to the donors, the generous donors that without them, none of this would happen. So I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
Good afternoon. When I was thinking about what to speak about, I thought of the saying that it takes a community to raise a child. Well, it takes a community to raise a guide dog, a successful guide dog. And I'm going to cry. Okay, deep breaths. There's so many pieces to the puzzle to make a guide dog team successful. And I would like to thank everyone, but I would be afraid I might miss somebody that's very important. I've had 4 guide dogs from Guiding, she will be my 4th from Guiding Eyes. They've all been wonderful dogs. Enya, I had to wait a while because of COVID and because I have waited 16 months. And I found myself losing my independence. I wasn't confident anymore. I stayed home a lot more. I struggled. And when I got here and took the harness again, it gave me such a feeling of pride and such a feeling of confidence. And meeting Nancy and Ryan today, thank you. And we have such wonderful instructors that give of their time and have been so kind and so positive. And anyway, I love you all and thank you.
Hello, my name is Victoria. Maybe I shouldn't have gone last. That one was hard to follow, but I'll try. It took me about 22, 23 years to find a cane that I liked, that I was happy to use and confident with, and that gave me the freedom to go outside at night by myself. And I loved it. But it only took me 2 days to feel like York was the one. He was the dog for me. It's so different. And this is my first guide dog, but it's so different to walk around with a guide dog than it is with a cane. I walk so much faster, so much more confidently. And it's only been 2 weeks, but it's amazing. And he is so smart, and he is so fast, and he is as distractible as I am. So I feel like it's the perfect match. While we were training in the mall, I found that we were supposed to be going straight, and I was looking one way, and he was looking the other way, and I couldn't even be mad because same. But when I get him back to focus and he gets me back to focus and we go forward, it's magical. It's great. And I didn't know that I would have the experience to meet the people who trained him, the people who raised him. But that was an amazing part of this journey. York, sit. Good boy. Yes. But as you can tell, he's very well trained and he does his thing. And I am so grateful for that. And I appreciate everything that went into making him the perfect dog for me. So thank you.
And I believe we have Dick Pomo speaking via Zoom.
Dick, you need to unmute your microphone.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. Are you able to hear me okay?
Yes, we hear you.
Well, thank you so much from sunny Arizona. Presley is my third dog, and I have never been in a situation until last summer for the past 15 years when I've been without a dog. Guiding Eyes has been a lifesaver, and the staff helped my wife and I through a process last summer of losing our wonderful little lab, Jiffy. It was only with the support that we received from Guiding Eyes that we were able to move on. And 3 weeks ago, 75-pound lab named Presley came bounding into our house and said, "Here I am, I'm at home." I can't say enough about the home training program. At age 81, some schools would say you're too old. Guiding Eyes simply ask, are you physically able in need of walking and traveling independently? When they found out the answer was yes, they started the process to look for and find a dog that would be a good match for me. The value of the home training program for me is that, for me, my travel is very simple. Maybe as simple as going to the drugstore, sneaking a cup of coffee and a brownie that my wife doesn't know about at the restaurant, or simply taking a walk around the neighborhood. But I can tell you for a fact, without trainers like Mike Gorin, I would not have that opportunity. I find myself, after going through the 10-day training with Mike, still not convinced that he isn't watching me. Mike has the capacity to make someone my age who's going through a training process kind of come away with the idea that what we're doing is retooling, building on the things that I learned over 15 years and helping me change some of the mistakes that I've made. And there's a very little unknown fact that most of you don't know. Mike taught me and reminded me again, when looking for something that your dog is trying to show you, is to put your hand on his head and move from there. Now, I know that all of you all know that. However, some of us tend to forget that. And I'm all convinced that the process of waving was started by a blind guy with a guide dog who was looking for a pole and had his hand up around his head, not finding the pole. I can tell you right now that anytime my dog stops to show me something we need to go around or where that light pole is, my hand goes to his head. So I learned something, Mike. Thank you so much. And thank you and Guiding Eyes for recognizing the fact that technology would not be a process of creating a guide dog. The love, the compassion that is shown by people, Guiding Eyes, puppy raisers, and donors is something that any of us with guiding dogs cannot say thank you enough. I'm proud to be a graduate of Guiding Eyes for the Blind. And believe me, when I put that harness on and walk down the street, I hope to be the best representative I can. Congratulations to my fellow grads, and let's keep moving, no matter how old we are. Thank you.
Thank you. And now to present the grads in-house with their certificates. First, we have Dirk Price and Fernando. Marianne Schmidt and Enya. And Victoria Vergara with York. Congratulations, everyone.
And next, thank you, Kat, and thank you to all of our graduates for those wonderful, wonderful words. To wrap up this ceremony, we're going to have Melissa Carney, our Manager of Community Outreach and Graduate Support, say a few words.
Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa Carney. I am a 2016 graduate. And just to point out that the occasional whining you hear is not one of the 2 or 3-year-olds, it's the 8.5-year-old. And he's saying, why the heck am I the only yellow lab represented in this room? So thank you, Stephanie Corrett, for pointing that out. It's very true. It's been such a pleasure being joined with all of you today. Thank you so much for attending our graduation to celebrate these wonderful graduates, both in person and over Zoom. I have to say it's so neat that we now have the option to hear from people from Arizona and California, Colorado, all over the place, bringing people together. And that's what the Guiding Eyes community is all about, is bridging those gaps, whether it's distance, whether it's experiences and perspectives. We're always bringing people together, graduates, staff, volunteers, donors. We could not do it without any of these components and puzzle pieces. I also want to say that it has been an absolute pleasure getting to know the home training graduates over the phone, getting to know the 3 students here that you see in front of you today. If it was up to me, I could talk to them for hours and hours, but they don't have that sort of time in 2 weeks. So it was a pleasure just getting to spend the time that I could with them, getting to know their stories, sharing in emotions, talking about the advocacy efforts that we have in front of us as guide dog teams. There's so much that goes into that bond. And here today, in them sharing your stories, I hope that you're at least able to see a fraction of it. Thank you again for everyone who's been able to attend today. We invite you to, if you're able to, join us in Rosie's Cafe after graduation for dinner and to continue the celebration of all of these wonderful teams. Thank you so much.